Immigration has always been a contentious issue, but in recent years it has become a hot topic that divides nations and creates heated debates. Some countries have embraced immigrants, seeing them as a key to future economic growth, while others blame immigration for social, cultural, and economic decline. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 countries that many believe have been significantly impacted, some might even say ruined, by immigration. We'll explore how the influx of immigrants has caused challenges in these nations and discuss whether they can bounce back or if immigration has changed them forever. This is going to be controversial, and I'm sure you'll have your own opinions, so don't forget to leave a comment and tell us what you think. Number 1. Germany. Germany has been at the center of Europe's immigration debate for years, particularly after Chancellor Angela Merkel's decision in 2015 to open the country's borders to over 1 million refugees. This move was seen as a humanitarian act, but critics argue it has led to significant problems. Major cities like Berlin, Munich, and Hamburg have seen increasing numbers of immigrants, many of whom come from war-torn countries like Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. The cultural impact has been significant, with many Germans feeling that their traditional values are being diluted by the influx of foreign cultures. There's also been a noticeable increase in crime rates in certain areas, which some claim is linked directly to new immigrant communities. The rise of far-right political parties like the Alternative for Germany, AfD, is a clear indicator of the growing discontent among certain segments of the population. Yet, proponents of Germany's immigration policies argue that the country needs immigrants to sustain its economy, especially with an aging population and a declining birth rate. Immigrants fill crucial jobs in industries like manufacturing, healthcare, and technology, helping to keep Germany's economy strong. So, the question remains, has Germany truly been ruined by immigration? Or is it evolving into a more multicultural society that will thrive in the long run? Only time will tell, but for now, the debate rages on. Number 2. United States. The United States has long been known as a nation of immigrants, but in recent years that legacy has been called into question. The debate over illegal immigration, particularly from Latin America, has become a polarizing issue. Cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Miami have large immigrant populations, and while these cities have thrived in many ways, they have also faced challenges. Critics of U.S. immigration policies argue that illegal immigration strains public resources, increases crime, and drives down wages for native-born workers. The construction of a wall on the southern border, initiated during the Trump administration, became a symbol of the country's struggle to control immigration. However, immigrants have been integral to the U.S. economy, particularly in industries like agriculture, construction, and service sectors. Without immigrant labor, many argue that the U.S. would face severe labor shortages. Furthermore, immigrants contribute significantly to the economy by starting businesses, paying taxes, and enriching the cultural landscape. Looking ahead, the U.S. will need to find a way to address the deep divisions over immigration. Will it remain a land of opportunity for all, or will it become more closed off to the outside world? Number 3. Sweden. Sweden has long been considered one of the most progressive and welcoming countries in Europe, but its immigration policies have caused significant social and political challenges. In the last decade, Sweden has accepted a large number of immigrants and refugees, particularly from the Middle East and Africa. Cities like Malmö and Stockholm have become hotbeds of tension between native Swedes and immigrant communities. Critics claim that Sweden's generous welfare system has been exploited by immigrants who are not contributing to the economy, leading to a strain on public services such as healthcare, housing, and education. The rise of gang violence and organized crime in urban areas has also been linked to immigrant communities, according to some right-wing politicians. On the other hand, defenders of Sweden's immigration policies argue that immigrants are necessary to fill labor shortages, particularly in the healthcare and tech sectors. They also point out that Sweden's aging population means that without immigrants, the country could face a demographic crisis in the coming decades. As Sweden grapples with these challenges, it's clear that the country's future depends on finding a balance between integration and maintaining its traditional social model. Number 4, France. France, like many other European nations, has struggled with immigration for decades. The country has a large immigrant population, particularly from North Africa and the Middle East, due to its colonial history. Paris, Marseille, and Lyon have significant immigrant communities, and while France's multicultural identity has been celebrated, it has also caused significant tension. Many French citizens feel that immigrants are not integrating into French society, leading to the creation of parallel societies where French law and customs are not respected. The rise of Islamist extremism and incidents of terrorism have only heightened these fears, with some blaming France's immigration policies for the radicalization of young people. On the flip side, France's economy depends on immigrant labor, particularly in industries like construction, agriculture, and retail. Immigrants also contribute to the cultural vibrancy of the country, enriching French cuisine, art, and music. As France moves forward, it will need to address these challenges, balancing its values of liberty, equality, and fraternity with the realities of a diverse and increasingly polarized society. Number 5, Italy. Italy is a country that has been on the front lines of Europe's migration crisis for years. Its proximity to North Africa has made it a primary destination for immigrants crossing the Mediterranean. The influx of migrants, particularly to southern Italy, has caused significant strain on the country's resources. Cities like Rome, Naples, and Palermo have seen large numbers of immigrants arriving, often without adequate housing or job prospects. Many Italians believe that immigration has led to an increase in crime, unemployment, and a decline in social services. The rise of right-wing political parties, like the League, is partly due to the anti-immigrant sentiment that has swept across the country. However, Italy also faces a demographic crisis, with one of the lowest birth rates in Europe. Immigrants could help address this by filling labor shortages and contributing to the pension system. Without immigration, Italy's economy could stagnate, leaving future generations with fewer opportunities. The debate over immigration in Italy is far from over, and as the country struggles to find a solution, the tension between embracing immigrants and protecting national identity will continue. Number 6, United Kingdom. The United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union, known as Brexit, was fueled in part by concerns over immigration. Many Brits felt that the country was losing control of its borders, particularly with the influx of immigrants from Eastern Europe. Cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester have seen significant changes in demographics, with large immigrant communities settling in these areas. Opponents of immigration argue that it has led to a strain on public services, including the National Health Service, NHS, education, and housing. They also claim that immigrants are taking jobs from native-born workers and driving down wages. However, immigrants have long been a key part of the UK's workforce, particularly in the healthcare sector, where they make up a significant portion of doctors, nurses, and other essential workers. The UK's economy, particularly in London, also thrives on the diversity and innovation that comes with immigration. Post-Brexit, the UK will need to navigate a new immigration system that meets the needs of its economy while addressing the concerns of its citizens. It remains to be seen whether the country can find the right balance. Number 7, Australia. Australia has long been a popular destination for immigrants, particularly from Asia and the Pacific Islands. Cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane have thriving immigrant communities, and for the most part, Australia's immigration policies have been seen as a success. However, in recent years, there has been growing concern over the impact of immigration on housing prices, infrastructure, and social cohesion. Some Australians feel that the country is accepting too many immigrants, particularly those who come on temporary work visas and do not integrate into society. On the other hand, Australia's economy is heavily reliant on immigration, particularly in sectors like education, healthcare, and construction. Without a steady flow of immigrants, Australia could face labor shortages that would hinder economic growth. Australia will need to continue to manage its immigration system carefully, ensuring that it remains a land of opportunity while addressing the concerns of its citizens. Number 8. Belgium. Belgium, with its capital Brussels being the seat of the European Union, has long been a hub for immigration. However, this has not come without its challenges. The country has seen a significant increase in its immigrant population in recent years, particularly from North Africa and the Middle East. This has led to tensions, particularly in Brussels and Antwerp, where some Belgian citizens feel that their culture is being eroded by the influx of foreign communities. Critics argue that Belgium's generous welfare system has been exploited by immigrants, leading to a strain on public resources. There are also concerns about the rise of extremism, with Belgium being the site of several high-profile terrorist attacks in recent years. Supporters of immigration in Belgium point out that the country's economy depends on immigrants, particularly in sectors like construction, healthcare, and technology. They also argue that Belgium's future prosperity depends on its ability to integrate immigrants and create a more diverse, dynamic society. Belgium's future will depend on finding a way to balance these competing interests, ensuring that immigration is managed in a way that benefits both the country and its new residents. Number 9. Netherlands. The Netherlands is often seen as a progressive and tolerant country, but even it has been impacted by the challenges of immigration. Major cities like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and The Hague have seen an influx of immigrants from North Africa, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. While the Netherlands has a long history of being open to immigrants, the recent wave has sparked intense debates about integration, cultural identity, and security. Many Dutch citizens argue that the country's welfare system has become overburdened, with immigrants taking advantage of public housing, healthcare, and social services without contributing enough in return. Concerns about crime rates and radicalization have also been on the rise, with far-right political parties like the Party for Freedom, PVV, gaining support by advocating for stricter immigration controls. On the other hand, the Netherlands has long relied on immigrants to fill gaps in the labor market, especially in sectors like agriculture, healthcare, and technology. Many businesses argue that without immigrant labor, the Dutch economy would struggle to remain competitive on a global scale. The future of immigration in the Netherlands will likely hinge on the country's ability to integrate new arrivals while maintaining its social safety net. It's a delicate balance, but one that will shape the country's identity for years to come. Number 10. Canada. Canada is often lauded as a model for successful immigration, but even it faces challenges that have stirred controversy. Cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal have experienced rapid demographic shifts due to large waves of immigrants from Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. While Canada's immigration policies are generally more welcoming than those of many other countries, some Canadians worry that their nation's social fabric is being strained. Critics argue that immigrants are driving up housing prices, particularly in cities like Vancouver, where the real estate market has become nearly unaffordable for many Canadians. There are also concerns about job competition, particularly in sectors like technology and finance, where highly skilled immigrants are entering the workforce in large numbers. However, Canada's economy is heavily dependent on immigration, especially given its low birth rate and aging population. Immigrants contribute significantly to the workforce, innovation, and cultural diversity, which many Canadians see as a key strength. Additionally, Canada's skilled immigration programs are designed to bring in talent that can help drive the economy forward in the global marketplace. Looking ahead, Canada will need to continue finding ways to balance the benefits of immigration with the concerns of its citizens. Will it remain a beacon of opportunity for immigrants, or will it tighten its borders in response to growing pressures?